Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Glowing Up Latina. I'm Christina, and I'm here with Amanda, owner of Brewnita Cafe in Wichita Falls, Texas.
Hi, I'm Amanda, like she said, and I'm owner of Brewnita Cafe, a Mexican-inspired coffee shop here in Wichita Falls, Texas.
So Amanda and I actually went to high school together. Did you graduate? What year did you graduate?
I graduated in 2011.
Okay, so you were the year before me.
Yeah.
And I actually was able to reach out to Amanda through a friend I had in junior high and high school because I saw what she was doing. She was doing like some pop-up shops that I came across on Facebook, and then she started opening the cafe. And so I reached out to my friend like, hey, do you think she would be interested? And you were. So here we are. So tell us a little about yourself, like, you know, growing up here in Wichita and how you kind of like got to where you are now.
Growing up in Wichita, obviously it's a small town. Everybody knows each other. I actually grew up in the business industry, I guess, because my parents own El Norteño. So, you know, I grew up, you know, always being around entrepreneurs, I guess. And so I always knew I wanted to be a business owner, but I just didn't know what I wanted to do. You know, I went to Old High, then I went to MSU, and it took me a while to graduate, but I finally graduated after like 7 years. So I graduated with a finance degree from MSU. And then I thought maybe it'd be cool to manage the restaurant since I was already older and stuff. And I kind of tried to do that, but it just was not working out.
Okay.
So then I just moved to the other restaurant, Norteño number 2, which is owned by my brother-in-law and my sister. And I was a cook and a server there. So, you know, so I did that for about, I mean, it's been 5 years since I graduated. So I never actually got a job like in like business finance, you know. So I always just worked in the restaurant. And then last year, as a matter of fact, like exactly a year ago, I was sitting with one of my coworkers and I was like we were drinking coffee and I was like, let's open up a Mexican coffee shop. And she was like, what? I was like, yeah, like a Mexican inspired coffee, you know. She was like, okay, yeah, let's do it. And I was like, I'm being for real. And I think she thought I was playing. And then I went to my brother-in-law and I was like, hey, I have this idea. Do you want to be an investor? Like, blah, blah. And then I was trying to like sell it to him. And he was like, that does sound like a good idea. So we kind of like just left it like that. So then I started doing a lot of research like on coffee shops and all that stuff, you know. And I love coffee. I love drinking coffee. Like I drink it all the time. Like it's a habit. It's like it doesn't even wake me up or anything. It's just a habit of drinking it. So then, you know, the holidays went by and then there was a pop-up event that was going to happen in March. I can't remember the exact date, but it was going to be in March. And I was like, well, that'd be the perfect time to do the coffee pop-up. So I told my coworkers again, I was like, hey, will y'all help me? Like, I'll buy the stuff. You know, we'll see how it goes. You know, so we got 2 tables, like just 6-foot tables. We put them together, put tablecloths over it. I learned how to make conchas because I did not know how to bake conchas at all. So they first were coming out as like thick cookies, thick, soft cookies. And I would have like my coworkers like test them out. They tasted really good. They just it wasn't like a concha.
Yeah.
So, you know, so I like literally was baking conchas every day after work.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's an intensive process, isn't it?
Yeah, because it would take me about 5 hours to bake.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because you have to like let it rise for 2 hours, supposedly, and then make the balls, let it rise another 45 minutes. Then you put the topping on top of it, and then let it rise another like 30 minutes, and then you can put them in the oven. And then since I had just like my house oven, it was just, I would have to put them in for like 10 minutes. Take them out, turn them around, put them in, and it was only like 1 tray at a time because if I put 3 trays at a time, the top part wouldn't cook and then the bottom part would burn. So I was just able to use the middle part of the oven, and so I would basically bake 20 conchas at a time, so every 20 minutes.
Oh my
gosh.
Yeah.
So and I was doing that like nightly, so I would stay up to like 2 a.m. baking, just trying to figure out like the right recipe. You know, I would like look up recipes online, or then I would try like different things, and then finally I was able to do like my own, you know, recipe. So then, you know, got the conchas down by March, and then I made like a list of different coffees that I wanted to, you know, do. And so I made a menu. I had the girls go to my house and we like tasted the coffees, and we were like, let's see what they're gonna taste like. So if they're gonna taste like a gansito or like the duvalin and stuff like that, and so like they helped me figure out the flavors of them. Then we're like, okay, we're ready to try to do this pop-up. So we went and, you know, we set up, and this was the first time like anybody had heard of like Brewnita Cafe. Like I bought like a banner and everything. It was like a whole thing. And so, you know, I bought like, it was like 10 gallons of milk. We did the cold brew, which I let it, the cold brew, I made 5 gallons of it, and I didn't know if I was gonna use like all, like I didn't know, like this was literally, everything was brand new to me, so I didn't know like how much like stuff we were gonna use. So the pop-up was from Friday through Sunday, and then so, you know, I had different people helping me throughout those days, the ones who could. So the first day, you know, we like posted it on Facebook, like, you know, we shared it on Instagram, on not Instagram, on Snapchat. Like we were just like constantly sharing it until the day that it was. And like we had a lot of people come. Like we were literally like the main, because there was like other vendors there. There was like over 40 vendors, I think. And they sold like, you know, candles or like keychains and clothes and stuff like that. And I was the only one selling coffee. So like my little pop-up was the one that was getting the busiest. Like everybody was going to that pop-up event just to go get the coffee, like mainly just to go to get the coffee. And then they would be like, oh, we didn't even know that there was like a thing going on until we saw that you were going to be here. So, you know, then they shopped around and stuff. Yeah, so that was a cool experience. And then KFDX, the news channel, was there, and they asked them who they wanted to get interviewed, like what vendor did they want to get interviewed. And because I was the one that was getting more people like to go to my stand, they asked me if I was like interested in being interviewed on the news station. And obviously I'm a shy person, so it's just like okay, like I was like, well, I need to get my name out there, so I'm gonna have to, you know, do it. So I was like, okay, yeah, like that's fine. And so then I met Dylan, who is the one that does the videos, and then he was really cool to like interview with. And I was super nervous, so I mean, I didn't know what to say. Like it was just, you know, the same questions that everybody asks, like why did you start this, or like what made you come up with it, like, you know, all this. And it's just like, honestly, I don't know. Like it just happened.
And this was your first ever like event, like first time being Brewnita Cafe, and you're being interviewed for it?
Yes, exactly. And I'm just like, this is happening. So I was like, okay, I have to do it. So, you know, I did the interview and it went okay. So I was on TV that night, so it was cool. And so from there, I started doing my pop-ups at El Norteño too. So one of my friends, he built me a little cart that I could like fold over and like, you know, roll around and whatnot. And so it was just like a little pop-up cart, coffee shop. And so I would go to Norteño and do the pop-ups there. And so most of the clientele that I had knew that I was there. Like that was the main spot that I was at. So then I, you know, did a few other areas, and I tried doing some events. Then I finally got in at the farmers market downtown. So then I finally started doing just Saturdays there. And so like the people followed me over there, like my customers followed me over there. And so I would always try to like bring something new to the pop-up, you know, just to kind of like switch things up. So that's that. And so I was doing that all through August. Well, in July, I found out that the girl that was in this building was moving out. So I reached out to her and asked her about, you know, information about the landlord and blah, blah, blah. And so then she told the landlord that she had somebody who was interested, and the landlord was like, okay, I'll give her first dibs since she brought her to me. It took a while to like kind of get things started, because I was also going to go on a 2-week vacation. Yeah, like when we started leasing it. And so I was like, dang it, now I gotta like pause like my business plan to do it. And it was kind of like I said, I wasn't gonna open up a business anytime soon. So I was just like I don't even know where to start. Like, you know, I need plumbers, I need contractors, I need the city involved, I need to get all these permits to just get started.
Okay, so you're about to go on a 2-week vacation, and you kind of like, you don't know where to start in regards to like the city and the contractors and everything. So did you have to sit down and like kind of map out like what was next or what you needed, or like how did you go about like making the plan to get this place like looking like you wanted it to?
Okay. So obviously, like, my parents and my brother-in-law and my sisters, like, they know a lot about business, and like they know contractors, they know plumbers, they know basically everybody in the city, or like who I need to get involved and stuff like that. So I asked them for advice and they helped me a lot. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to put this project on pause while I go on vacation for 2 weeks. And then once I get back, I'll get right to it, you know. As soon as I got back, I started like calling the people that I needed to call. I, you know, made appointments, like the ones that I needed to do with the city, especially because I mean, I couldn't start anything unless the city approved. So as soon as the city okayed me to like start remodeling or whatever, then that's whenever like the contractors, the people who painted the area came in, and the one that built my tables and my countertop. And the good thing about this place was that it was completely white. So it was like a blank canvas that we were able to just do whatever. So it was pretty easy on that part. Obviously, I wanted it to look like we were in Mexico, but like outside of a house, if that makes sense. And like I had the vision in my head, but like I would tell it to somebody else and they kind of would understand, but not really. And then I finally talked to the painter, which is Luis Serna, who is, I think she graduated with you. Nadia?
So Nadia is the year after me.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Her and her dad were the ones that painted the entire place. So they, like, as artists, like, they knew what vision, like, I had in my head, like, you know, I would explain it to them and they were like, okay, yeah, we know what you're talking about. And so like I sent them different pictures, you know, that I found on Pinterest and stuff like that. And they put everything together and it was like came out perfect, like exactly how I wanted it to look. As far as an espresso machine, I had no idea what to do with an espresso machine. Like I had never made any kind of latte in my life. I only did cold brew. So, you know, the cold brew is just really easy, you know, just stir up and pour everything or whatever. So my friend who is a local roaster here in Wichita, he owns Mythic Roasters, and he's actually the one that I get my coffee from. He also started, I think, around the same time that I did. So he helped me figure out the grinder and the, you know, how I'm supposed to do it and do the shots and all that stuff. So that was really nice of him for him to do. As well as one of my other friends, her name's Aspen, she came and she helped me because she used to work at Starbucks, so she like helped me figure out the machine too, and she does like her espressos at home. And so like I had a lot of help. Like whenever I came back from the vacation, like I had a lot of people like on my side, like trying to help me out, like figure things out. So it was pretty cool. And then like, so I had an idea of how like I wanted things to look, like the colors. And like I had originally started with like pinks and browns, but once everything started kind of like coming together, I was like, okay, I need to switch up the colors to a more like neutral. So then that's when I changed my logo. I mean, I didn't like completely switch it up, but like I changed the colors of it to like a terracotta orange and like a tan and like a dark brown.
So if you're watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see the shop. I did interior shots of it. Like this area that we're in right now, I feel like you did a really good job of like separating for different feels. So like this is a really good area to like sit and talk. There's usually a couch right here.
Yeah.
We're using these chairs today for recording. And then there's an area directly ahead of us that is almost like, I guess almost like traditional like coffee shop feel.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted to come in and like do work, like you could sit right there and you have a nice view of the street. And then there's a more like communal area where like longer tables, you can sit and talk, and it's really colorful in that area. You did like a really good job with the inside of it. Like it's very homey, and yet like you get all the like the traditional like coffee shop feels.
For sure. And then me and my sister actually put up this wall.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And
yes, we're sitting behind like this very lovely, like half of it's painted, the other half is with this like grass with a very lovely sign up here.
So like when I had my pop-ups, I had a little, you know, those little square signs where you just, they light up, but you add the letters, little letters to them. So I had one of those, and it would always say cafecito y chisme, or, you know, stuff like that. And I just thought it was just the funniest thing because it's like every time we drink coffee, we're always gossiping.
Yeah.
so I was like, I need a sign, but I need a cool sign that says something that has to do with chisme, because obviously that's like the main thing about my coffee shop, you know? So yeah, so I found this phrase on, I don't know, I was like scrolling down like Instagram or Pinterest, I can't remember. And so I was like, that's perfect. Like cafecito para el chisme, like that's literally perfect. So once it was all put together, I was just like so excited. I literally laid on the couch for like 2 hours and I was just like, this is great. This is exactly what I wanted.
Okay, when you were like preparing everything, getting everything ready, you had to like go to the city to get approval. Does that include like, did you have to present like a business plan to them or just submit like a packet, or like what does that entail, or like what did that entail?
I just had to submit a packet, and then they came and checked out the area and seen if I needed to do anything like major to it, and then it was a pretty easy process. Well, for me anyway. I'm sure it's harder for other people because mine was a coffee shop and everything. Like I said, it was a blank canvas, so there wasn't really much for me to like do, because I guess the previous people that were in here before had already like did all the water lines and electrical lines and stuff like that, so I didn't really need to like do anything major to the spot. So went pretty smooth. So
then when you were doing your pop-ups, and that's really cool that like the first one you did, you got an interview.
Yeah, that was cool.
How were you like crafting your menu for these pop-ups? Because you said you were trying to offer something like different every time, and did you offer the conchas every time?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I tried to anyway. It was a lot because I was doing it by myself. So I was making the conchas. So I would try to make like 100 conchas every night. And I still had my full-time job. So I would get home. And if the next day I was having a pop-up, I would have to get home. As soon as I got home, I started doing the conchas. And so they would be fresh. I would prep everything in the evening. And then in the morning, I'd wake up around like 4 a.m. and start baking them one by one, which took forever. So by the time like they were done, it was already time for me to like load up and go to the whatever pop-up I was going to that day.
And then, full disclosure, you guys, I did purchase a couple of dozen conchas from Amanda for my cousin's quinceañera.
Eight dozen conchas.
Something like that. They were very good, and we got customizable colors, which I thought was so cool.
We still do the conchas, and if somebody asks like if they can get a custom order, then we'll write it down and make it for them. But most of the time, I have enough conchas, and they just buy them. They just come in and buy them.
Do you have like a bigger oven to make everything in now?
So obviously, I was on a budget. So the oven, it's bigger, but since it's different than a regular home oven, I've been having to like mess with it a lot. So the first couple weeks, it was hard to get my conchas to be consistent. And now they're consistent, but before it was like they wouldn't rise. Like they're very delicate bread. It's like making bread in general is like delicate, or they wouldn't even bake. And so like one time I had to throw away like 200 conchas that we had already prepared.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was sad that day. I think I went home and I cried. That was a hard day for me.
Well, so that leads me to my next question is like, what have been like the hardest moments for you in this process?
In the process? So my full-time job, I had to like slowly stop working and just focus on doing just pop-ups. So then I went down to like just 2 days a week that I would work so I could focus on doing pop-ups during the weekends. And that's how I would do my income, which like some days were good, some days like it wasn't the same income that I was getting before, and it was a risk that I had to take in order to do what I'm doing now. So that was definitely a hard part. And it was like right after my vacation that I stopped. So like I think I stopped working like the beginning of September. That's whenever I like was getting stuff ready or whatnot. But at that same time, like I had ended a 5-year relationship. I was dealing with multiple health problems that I had to like constantly be going to the doctor for. Got surgery done, had like some procedures done, and at the same time trying to open up the location, or like trying to deal with like trying to find vendors, trying to find like distributors who I could get my supplies from. I think I want to say the month of September was probably the hardest month of like the entire process, and also because my income wasn't the same, so I was struggling trying to pay my bills too. And so yeah, it was a lot. So I'm struggling with all this stuff or whatever, but I'm like I talked to my mom, my family and my friends were like very supportive. Like I could call them up and like talk to them about like how I was feeling, and like, but my mom was like, you're stronger than this, like you're gonna overcome it, like God doesn't put things in your path for no reason. Like it's, he's testing you. Well, that's how we saw it. So, I mean, I overcame all those obstacles like within that month. And I like just started just focused on getting this, done. I was like, okay, it's already, October. I haven't done much. Like nothing is getting done. So then that's when I started actually like, telling the people who were working for me to like, can y'all hurry it up because I'm trying to open on this date and blah, blah, blah. But we got it open. I did my soft opening November 8th, I think. And then my official opening was the following week, November 14th. So we've only been open a month and like a week, 2 weeks. So it's been going good though.
So let me make sure I have the timeline right. Like you started doing these pop-ups like earlier this year, which then led to the coffee shop also this year. So like everything has been done in the span of like 2022, right?
2023.
Yeah, 2023.
I was like, yeah, basically. It hasn't even been a full year since I started. So it's crazy. It's like I'm still like mind blown like that I have a coffee shop. Like I always do.
Well, yeah, I was gonna ask like how does it feel? Like everything like you went through so much to like get it open and you were dealing with so much, and then I like you should feel like so proud of yourself.
I am. Like at first I was kind of just like numb, like I didn't know how to feel, and I was just like, is this real? Like, or am I dreaming? Like, because I always knew I wanted to have a business, but I just didn't know what kind of business. And this idea just came up. And I was like, just go with it. Like, if I'm not doing anything productive or whatever right now with my life, I might as well just risk it. Like, there's nothing for me to lose, really. Like, Yeah, so my parents were like, well, it's a good opportunity. So either you take it or you leave it. And so they helped me like a lot financially. So in order for me to open this up, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't even have any of this. But they helped me a lot. My family, my siblings helped me a lot. My friends, they were definitely like very supportive. And my customers, like they were like super my number one like fans. I was like, dang, I have fans, I'm popular. But they've been with me since like literally day one, since the first pop-up. They've been with me.
Okay, so you did mention that your parents are also business owners and it's kind of like in your family. So what are like the things that you wanted to take away from like watching your parents do business, watching your family do business? And then what are kind of the things that you wanted to do differently in your business?
I definitely wanted to be more on social media just because like, when you go out of town, you look up where can I go get coffee or cute coffee shops or like, food, whatever. And so I definitely wanted to get more into the social media side of things. And they are on social media, but it's not like as like much as I'm on there. Like I'm literally on there every single day, like trying to post something new. So that's the main thing. But other than that, like it's kind of the same thing. Like as owning a restaurant, like, you still deal with employees, taxes, obviously, and at the beginning of every business, like, there's no profit, obviously. Like, I'm not making any profit, like, right now, because, I have stuff to pay off. And, I already knew that was going to be a thing, so I wasn't, like, it doesn't bother me, And for, like, instance, if I didn't have that knowledge and I didn't know, oh, I'm not going to profit the first couple years, of a business, I'm going to shut down, because I'm not making any money. But I know that the first couple years, I'm not going to make anything. Like, it's literally all just money that's getting paid, like, things that are getting paid off. So having that knowledge, like, really helps, or, like, that background. And then plus, like, my finance degree also helps.
Okay, Amanda has been nice enough. We're going to try some coffees for y'all. Really, you should go watch the YouTube so that you can see this beautiful cafe and also the coffees because they are really pretty.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, and that's what like a lot of people love about it is that they're pretty, I guess, and they take the.
They're
that's
Instagrammable.
They're Instagrammable, and that's like another reason why I wanted this place to be the way it is. Because like when I go to a new cafe, like I want to take a picture. Like I automatically want to take a picture, like of my coffee. So I was like, that's what I want people to do is take pictures. Like right here, this is the main area where people come and take pictures at.
Okay, so if you're watching us on our YouTube channel, then you can see that we have moved. We are now in that beautiful, colorful room that I was describing, and we are going to try some of Amanda's coffees, and she has them in these very gorgeous mugs that are for sale in her little shop over here. Talk to me about how you chose like your glassware and everything.
Well, obviously I wanted it to be Mexican, so I was like, I need Mexican coffee mugs. So that's basically how that happened.
And are they from a vendor like in Texas or?
She is from Texas, but she gets them from Mexico. So then she sells them to me. Yeah, but we're actually going to Mexico and next week, and we're gonna see what we can find.
Okay.
For my little tiendita over there.
Okay, so what do we have here? What are we gonna try?
All right, so our first thing that we're gonna try is the café de olla, the traditional Mexican coffee with piloncillo, which is brown sugar, and cinnamon flavors, and then I use my my house blend coffee to make it with.
That's the one you get from the local roaster.
From the local roaster. Mm-hmm.
And then I believe when you were describing it to me, you said it's a Mexican bean and
Salvadorian bean.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That they blend together.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, cheers.
That's so good.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It's
really
good.
It's always so good.
Okay, hold on, wait. So I was scared to tell you this before, but like I'm not a coffee person, I'm a tea person.
Okay. Yeah.
But you guys, and y'all know that, and this is delicious. Like,
isn't it good?
It tastes almost like a
chai.
Mm-hmm. Like I smell the cinnamon and I taste the cinnamon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like a sweet like dessert almost. And this is like one of your most popular, right? Like people coming in.
And you just drink it black.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, it's very good.
I drink. This is what I drink every morning.
So excited for
Have you ever had it before? No. Yeah, it's super good.
Yeah, this is delicious, you guys.
Definitely a number one seller so far. So
is this one of the ones that you like? Did you find a recipe online and you kind of made it your own? Or did you know how to make this already?
My mom taught me how to make it.
Kind of.
She just said all you have to do is add coffee, boil water, and like add the cinnamon sticks and the piloncillo. So, and then so we serve it, and it's super easy to make.
It's delicious.
I actually sell from a Latin-owned company. I sell their café de olla, which is instant. They make it instant.
You have it in the shop.
In the shop, yes. And then that one's really good as well. But obviously, I just sell the bags because I can't. So I don't know how to sell my coffee like in a bag. So, but theirs is really good.
Okay. What is your favorite that you serve? It's this. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I drink this every morning. I can drink up to like 4 cups.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah.
And does it have caffeine in it? It's because coffee, right?
Coffee, yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's basically just black coffee with cinnamon and brown sugar.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So nothing
very good.
Nothing too fancy, but it's the traditional coffee in Mexico that people make. So
okay, we are back. Also, I forgot to mention that we're filming this at like 7:30, so I'm gonna be wired later. I'm very excited.
For sure. You'll probably get it edited tonight.
Okay, what is this?
Okay, so this is our house blend, just regular black coffee.
Mm-hmm.
This is the one that Mythic Roasters makes for me. It's called an Endless Summer. It's really good. It has notes of berries and dark chocolate, I guess.
Okay.
So
I can smell the chocolate. Yeah, it smells very good.
Yeah, for sure. It's really hot, but it's really good. Like
it is very good. Yes, we're drinking it black, so it's good.
But it's super hot.
It's not. One of my things with coffee is like bitter or like harsh.
Yeah,
and it's not at all. It's very smooth.
Yeah. And I feel like that's why it mixes well with the cinnamon and the brown sugar.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah. So
this is the one that goes in the café de olla. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I use this one for the café de olla.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
And do people come in and just order this black?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, there's.
Do you like it just black?
I like it just black. Yeah. I mean, I'm a coffee person, so I
don't discriminate.
Yeah. I'll try whatever kind of coffee there is. My go-to is definitely the café de olla.
It is very good. I did this is good. Don't get me wrong, you guys. It's very good. But I think I'm in love with the café de olla. I'm gonna be very upset when I go back and can't have it.
Right? Hey, you can take some of the
instant ones, right?
Yeah, they're just as good.
So with the café de olla, do you add anything to it, or like you just do this? Like,
it's just like this,
mm-hmm.
and then I just add cinnamon sticks and the piloncillo, to it, and then I let it not boil, because if it boils, it gets bitter and it tastes nasty.
Oh, okay.
And that's happened to me before, so I had to throw all of it away. But you live and you learn. So I let it just get to the perfect like temperature,
like marinate almost.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, and then then we serve it. I put it in the pots and just keep it.
Wow. And these, you sell this in shop, right?
Yeah.
That's what this bag is.
So I sell Mythic Roasters coffees in the shop in Brewnita. He's helped me a lot, so I'm like super grateful to have met him. Yeah, so
and this was the person you said taught you like how to use the machine.
He taught me how to use the machine, yeah, and he's helped me with like other stuff that I've have questions about, because again I enjoyed coffee, but I never knew how to make like an espresso shot.
Well, there's definitely like a science behind it, right?
There's like a whole thing, like a scale. You have to have a scale, and then like the right measurements, the right timing, seconds, and it's a whole it's a lot.
Because is coffee very delicate, and like if you do something like just a little wrong, like you could ruin a batch?
Drip coffee, no. But espressos, yes, you have to have the right type. You have to have the perfect grind.
Okay.
To be able to make an espresso, because when I first got my machine, I was trying to practice, and me and my friend were doing it, and we were just like putting shots in there, and then it would come out like very diluted, and we were like, "What's going on?" And like I would make her a coffee, and she's like, "Oh, it's good." She's like, "But I don't feel like energy. Like I don't like usually with coffee, I feel good. Blah blah blah." And we're like, "Well, I don't know." I was like, "I don't know. The shots are coming out right." But then my friend came, and he did the whole scale thing and the the grinder. He like set it to how it's supposed to be, and he brought his own tamper and all that stuff, and he made the perfect espresso shot. And we were like, ours looked nothing like his. His was like dark and like creamy, and it looked delicious. Ours was like diluted. It looked like it was just like vanilla syrup. Yeah. So definitely helped a lot.
Well, this is very good. Right now, the cafeteria is ranking #1 for me.
Yeah,
so we're going to try some other stuff.
Yeah.
We'll be right back. Okay. We are back, and we have an iced coffee now. And when I talked to Amanda before we did this recording, I was really impressed by how you came up with this, how you like figured out the flavors for it. So describe what we have.
Okay, so this is the Gansito iced coffee. It has strawberry, vanilla cream, and cinnamon in it, with whipped cream, strawberry syrup, chocolate syrup, all the good stuff, sprinkles. So the way I came up with this flavor is I was eating gansitos at the house, and I was savoring like every bite that I would take, and I would be like, okay, I tasted some cinnamon in it, and then I look at the ingredients and see what it had in it. So then I'd mix up like different syrups, and finally like I got it to taste not exactly like a gansito, but like it's up there.
Okay.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Uh-huh.
I know I shouldn't be drinking this much coffee right now, but
it almost tastes like it tastes like a gansito if you've ever had one, but it also that like strawberry and chocolate ice cream mixed together.
No, I was saying Napoleon Dynamite.
Neapolitan.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people have said, but
it's very good.
Yeah.
And it's very pretty.
Yeah.
Like all the chocolate swirls.
Yeah.
So then did it take you a while to like kind of like get the flavor in the gansito like right in the coffee?
Yeah, it took about like 20 minutes. So.
And is it a matter of like pumping different stuff into it, trying different measurements?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like depending on how many pumps, and also it has to do with the type of coffee you use, because you can't just use like a cheap brand coffee.
Yeah.
And try to make it with that, because then you can taste the bitterness from that coffee. So like the coffee that I use like blends well with the syrups that I use.
Okay.
And or like the amount of syrups that we use. So it's not too sweet and not too like you can't taste like like some people don't like the taste of coffee. So like this is perfect for them because they can't taste the coffee in it.
I will second that.
I mean, you can't taste. I mean, you can taste the coffee in it, but you can't. Like,
it's not overpowering.
Yes, there you go. It's not overpowering because it like mixes well. Yeah.
So, are the beans that you use from this different than the beans that we had earlier? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. These it's same roaster, but these beans are just Oaxacan beans.
Okay.
So from Mexico. So just I have to brew this for 20 hours.
Oh,
so I'll
wow.
brew this coffee. So it's a cold brew. So we brew it for 20 hours and then we, dump it out and use it throughout the day.
So then is this a coffee that like kind of like when you run out of like the brew that you're using, like that's it for the day?
We have backup.
Oh, okay.
Like we're like when we know that we're about to run out, we always have.
Okay.
Like, we make enough to not run out. But it definitely cold brew is definitely stronger than an espresso shot.
Oh, really?
And people don't know that.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Only because the cold brew, like I said, we brew it for 20 hours.
So it's like more concentrated.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and we don't dilute it. Like it's.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's just straight coffee. So that's what I'm saying. Like we're gonna be up. Like it's stronger than, and people think it's not. Like people think espresso shot. Oh, give me a double espresso shot. Like no, that's either way. This is gonna be more stronger than an espresso, like a double espresso shot.
Oh, that's crazy. I did not know that.
Yeah, you learn something new every day.
What other, I guess, food-inspired coffees, like kind of where you did the same thing? You like ate it and tried to like get that flavor. Drink. Yeah.
A churro. So I can go make us some.
Okay. So we're back with our fourth and final coffee for this tasting. Amanda does offer way more on her menu, but we're probably already going to be up all night, so we're stopping at 4.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is the
churro coffee, yeah.
And what's in this one?
This one is cinnamon and brown sugar.
Okay.
So
and caramel?
Yeah, a little bit of caramel, just because
and
sprinkle like cinnamon.
Oh, spice like
like you know how you put on the churro coffee.
Oh yeah.
So and sometimes like churros they add caramel to it, so that's where the caramel comes from. Yeah.
Oh. This one's also very good.
Yeah.
This one, I feel I taste the coffee more so in this one than I did in the Gansito.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I don't.
No.
But then again, I don't know.
But I definitely get I get the cinnamon and I get the brown sugar taste and the caramel taste.
Yeah.
It's crazy how because I feel like coffee can be overpowering, but like how like the notes of like the other things come through it.
Yeah, for sure.
And so this is another one where you like eating a churro and you were like, let me figure out how to make this into a drink.
This one actually no. I don't know. I just was like if you were to like just open it and then drink it, like it just tastes like a churro because of the cinnamon that's on top of it. So, I mean, I feel like it tastes like a churro. And most people do think it tastes like a churro, too. It's one of the most popular ones, actually. And hot. I like it better hot. But if you're iced coffee lover, then...
Yeah, I have a friend who only, like, dead of winter will only drink iced coffee.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's those people who will not drink hot coffee. They don't like hot coffee at all. They just like iced coffee.
Well, and then I saw on your menu that some of the drinks are only offered hot and some of them are only offered cold. Like, what determines whether a drink is going to be hot or cold?
So, when we were doing the menu, when I was doing the menu, I did the drinks hot and cold. And some of the drinks, they didn't taste very good hot. So, I was like, I'm not going to offer it hot because, I mean, it just...
Yeah,
I don't want to offer something that's nasty. Well, I mean, I didn't think it was good, so I was like, they're not going to think it's good. So, I mean, but there's some people who insist on it being hot. So we're like, okay, we don't recommend it being hot, but we'll make it for you hot, and they like it. So
okay.
And then some, like for example, the Duvalin, it has hazelnut, vanilla, and strawberry cold foam. So obviously on the hot coffee, we don't put cold foam on it. So if you were to ask me to make you a Duvalin hot, it's just like, well, you're not gonna get that flavor from the
Oh.
strawberry. I mean, we can add strawberry syrup to it, but it's still not.
It won't like taste the same.
Yeah, I feel like it just, and it doesn't look like the same because our duvalim looks like a duvalim. Yeah, so, and that's why everybody loves it, because it's like the coffee's at the bottom, the milk, and then the pink.
Oh.
So it literally looks like a duvalim. Yeah, so.
That's so cute. And is it like you have to be like kind of like, to make it look like a duvaline, like you were saying, you have to be kind of be precise so that you get each layer correct,
yeah,
right?
mm-hmm. Yeah, because so I noticed that if we put the ice, so if we put syrup, then the ice, then the coffee, then the milk, it'll all mix together. Mm-hmm. Which is weird. Mm-hmm. I don't know. And then so it'll look weird. So at that point, we just mix it and just give it to them, because it still tastes the same, but you just don't get that look. So we make sure that we do it do the steps the right way. Okay. That way, it looks like a duvalim. That's the whole purpose of it.
Well, I'm very grateful that you were able to do this interview with us and you had us and let us try these coffees. They're so good. I guess I really only have like 2 more questions for you before we part ways. Everybody's going to have an opinion. How do you handle the opinions that you don't necessarily agree with or like?
Honestly, like most of my reviews have been really, really good. So I've only had like 3 negative reviews. But as of right now, I don't say anything, because it's like, I can't help that my lounge area bothered you. Mm-hmm. So like, what am I supposed to say to that? Like, oh, I'm sorry, let me move stuff around just because it bothered one person. But no. But my thing is, like, if you're gonna go on social media and bash like a company or restaurant, coffee shop, whatever it is, like, at least let the owners know or let us be aware of what we did wrong before you go on to social media. And so I feel like if they're not respectful enough to let us know before posting something, like, so that we can fix the issue, like, what's the point of me messaging them? And then what's the point? And then like they could have came back or right there and then been like, hey, my iced latte wasn't good, and we would have easily like made them another latte. Like, and it's just like, what's the point of arguing with these people? Like, what do you get out of it? Nothing. They're still not going to come. And if you argue with them and say the wrong thing, it's going to get worse. It's just going to get worse. Yeah. So it's just like, just leave it as it is. And then just, if they want to come back, they can come back. If they don't, then, I mean, there's so many people out here in Wichita that will come and support.
Well, it's kind of like you were saying earlier that you can't please everybody. Yeah, definitely. And I know you have a lot of supporters here in town that like love this shop. I see them all the time in here when I've been in here this past week. So I guess to kind of like finish this off, what is it, some advice that you would give to like anybody who's thinking of like starting a business or like kind of going down the same path you did?
I would say just go for it, honestly. Like, there's no right time to start the business. Like, what are you waiting for? Like I said, like, I was waiting on the right time to open a business, so that's why I wasn't planning to open a business anytime soon, but the opportunity was there. So, my parents were like, the opportunity is there, take it. And so I was like, well, in order for me to see what can come out of that, I have to risk it, So like, literally, if you take a big risk, majority of the time, that risk is going to, be successful. Well, most of the time, it's successful if you put like your heart and soul into it, basically. So I'm like here every day. We're closed Mondays, but I'm like literally just here in the shop all day, talking to customers, or like if the baristas need something, then I'll help them. But mostly just being here and just making sure that everything's going how it's supposed to, like, smoothly. Like, definitely go for it. Don't wait till the right time, because there really is never a right time to start anything. Like, just do it. And if it hits, then it hits. And if it doesn't, then just, think of something else. And then, maybe it wasn't your time then. And then, eventually, like, you'll get to where you need to be. Like, for example, when I was like 19, I had a bank job, and they promoted me to a little bit higher up than I was a teller. they like promoted me to whatever, to open up new accounts or something. And I was training for like, I was like 19 or 20. I think I was like 20. And I was training for like 3 days. And then when I came in like the fourth day to train, the HR was like, hey, like I need you in my office, like whatever. And so like I'm a very introvert. Well, I used to be a very introvert person. So I didn't like speak up a lot. So I guess the lady who was training me brought it to HR's attention that I was too introvert for the job.
Oh.
Within 3 days of me just training. But I was like, if I'm too introvert for the job, then why am I a teller? Which tellers are the ones who deal more with the customer, you know, one-on-one. So, and versus the position that I was going to be in. So anyway, she was like, you can go back to being a teller or you can quit, or like, you know. Yeah, basically. And so, yeah, I'm like 20 years old and I was like, what? Like, this can happen? Like, you can get de-promoted? And I was like, okay, whatever. So at that time, I was like in college, but like part-time. And then I was like I was upset about the whole situation. I went back to being a teller because they said I could still keep my raise. So I was like, whatever, I'll just go be a teller. And then like a couple months later, I ended up quitting and working at the restaurant and going full time at MSU. And so then, you know, stuff happens for a reason. And if that situation wouldn't have happened, then I wouldn't be like where I am now, you know. But like I said, things like obviously don't go the way that you plan them to go. Like I said, I wasn't planning on opening this, but it happened, and here we are. And but yeah, that whole situation was like, yeah, I still have the email. I printed out the email of that whole situation because I was like, this is a reminder of like things happen for a reason. And
that was an amazing way to look at it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I was gonna write them back an email and stuff and like, you know, do the most, but I was like, for what? Like they're not gonna give me that job. I don't even want that job anymore. And so yeah, so then like I, you know, went to MSU, graduated, tried to get other jobs, but since I was like full time, I was working full time and I was full-time student at the time. I never went and got like an internship or anything like that. So like I feel like that kind of like set me back. It, like me not doing an internship, I feel like made me not be able to get a job easier. If that makes sense.
No, it does. I know exactly.
So because I was too busy working.
Yes.
You know, while and in school.
Yes.
So it's hard, and then so like I don't have those. You know, most jobs want 2 years of experience or at least some kind of experience, and I didn't have that. So I was just like, dang, I'm stuck here at the restaurant. Like, what am I gonna do? So 5 years later, here I am, have my own business.
Well, congratulations. It did work out, yes. Yeah. Congratulations. And I'm so grateful that you were able to do this interview and that it lined up perfectly. This is so much better than the Zoom interview we were going to have to do if I was in New York. So tell everybody where they can find you on Instagram.
On Instagram, so my name on Instagram is at Brewnita Cafe, BREWNITA CAFE. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. I'm trying to be more. I'm trying to
active.
Yeah, more active on there. I'm trying to learn how to make reels because clearly I don't know how to make them. But I'm learning. You can find me on Facebook, TikTok. You can even find me on Google. I have a website that you can go on and order online if you're in town, obviously. But like I'm already planning ahead for this next year. So
good.
Definitely excited about the new year.
So y'all be on the lookout for that. I will link all of Amanda's, like where you can find her in our show notes. So be sure to go look for that. And, you know, you can stream season 1 and season 2 wherever you listen to your podcast. You can watch us on YouTube. You know that we love to hear from you guys. So email us anything, what you want to see for the rest of the season. Let Amanda know how well she's doing, how beautiful this place looks. And you can send that to glowinguplatina@gmail.com, or you can find us on our Instagram at glowinguplatina. This was really fun. This is my first time doing this by myself.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, it went well. Like, this is my first time doing a podcast, so that was cool. So I'm glad you like reached out, because I've done interviews on the news. I've done I think I've been on the news like 3 times since I've opened. Well, one of them was like a online thing. The other 2 were like when I was opening up, and then when I first started, and then when I was opening up my coffee shop. And it's been like wild, like not even wild. It's just like I don't even know how to quit. Like, I don't even know how to like explain it, because it just happened so fast. Like, I literally was not expecting to open up a business this year or anytime soon. So it was just like, but now here I am. This is my life. My life literally made a, what is it called?
180.
180. Literally 180. I did not see myself here 5 months ago. 5 months ago, I was down bad. And now I'm here doing great. So
we'll have a come up story.
Yeah, definitely a come up, because your girl was doing really, really bad.
Well, please rate Blowing Up Latina on Instagram. Leave us a review on Apple Podcast. If you are in town, please come visit Amanda's coffee shop and leave her a lovely review on Google Reviews.
Don't complain about my lounge area, though, please, because I can't move that area. Like, it is what it is.
And until next week, keep glowing, mija.